Hey everyone, and welcome back to another food show. Today's gonna be a lot of fun. We're making an awesome chicken dish that may lead to love at first bite. All right, that is marry me chicken. They say this chicken dish is so good that it can lead to a marriage proposal. So we'll see. Get your prenups ready. Let's get going, and we're gonna do a few different things to elevate this dish. We're gonna add some pancetta or bacon. That's gonna add some crispiness to it because this dish is so creamy and soft. It's got the chicken breast, it's got the cream sauce. So let's get started. And like any marriage, we're gonna start with great communication. Let's start with some likes and subscribes and let's get going. Real quick bonus, if you guys hang around for a minute or two, I'm gonna show a quick potato gnocchi at the end of this, which pairs amazing with this chicken. It may or may not be store-bought. Don't tell anyone. Okay, for the ingredients, we got 2 chicken breasts. We have 1 cup of flour. Then we have 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, 1/4 cup of sun-dried tomatoes, 1/2 cup pancetta or bacon chopped. We got some red pepper flakes and 1/2 tablespoon of oregano, 3 cloves of garlic, some chicken broth, 1/2 cup of heavy cream, 1 lemon, a little bit of basil, and some fresh shredded cheese, Parmesan cheese, about 1/2 cup of that. And these will be listed in the description as well. And here I like to put some damp paper towels underneath when I'm using plastic cutting boards with raw meat, because that way it doesn't slide around. And now we're just going to go ahead and we're going to butterfly these chicken breasts. Just take your time. Make sure you get them about the same thickness so they cook evenly. And as you can see here, we're just going to cut them in half. Pretty much, and that's why we want them large chicken breasts, so that we can cut them in half and they're going to cook faster, stay juicy. We're going to dredge them in some flour and make sure to shake off that extra flour. We want the thinnest coat possible we can get on there. Once those are all floured, just set them aside. And we're going to make our sauce real quick by adding the sun-dried tomatoes, the mustard, the spices, 1/2 of a lemon, the garlic cloves, and a little bit of chicken broth just to make this in a liquid. We're going to mix it up and set that aside. Now let's get a pan on heat. Let's get that nice and hot. Add some avocado oil or your favorite oil. And then once that's nice and hot, we're going to add in those chicken breasts. And that's the sound you want to hear. If you put them in when the pan is cold, you're just going to stick a lot. It's not going to get that nice crust. And that's the color we're looking for. After a couple minutes, we're going to flip them over. And I like to, at this point, add a lid on the pan. This is going to stop them from burning. It's going to help them cook a little bit faster until we get that 165 degrees. Once we get that temperature, let's remove them from the pan. At this point, we're going to add in the pancetta. We're going to turn the heat down a little bit so it doesn't burn. We're going to render that fat out of the pancetta. Once that's all good to go, we're going to scoop that out and save that for later. And we're going to leave the oil from the pancetta in the pan. And then we're going to cook the sauce in the oil just by throwing the sauce in there and mixing it around a little bit. We want to cook this a little bit just because it has like raw garlic in there. So we want to cook it so it's a little bit more mild and these flavors really come together. And now to actually finish the sauce, we're going to add in that chicken broth, whisk it around a little bit. Then we're going to add in the heavy cream. Keep whisking for a few minutes. You'll really see the sauce come together. At this point, we can add in the shredded cheese. While this is simmering, gently stir that around. And then we're going to add in back the chicken breasts that are cooked already, but we really want to cover these and kind of just for a minute or two warm up in the sauce, get them covered in the sauce. Add in 1/2 of the pancetta or the bacon. And we're going to save the other 1/2 for the toppings. And that is good to go. And as promised, we're going to make a quick potato gnocchi right out of the bag. This is really underestimated. It goes great with this chicken. Super easy. Add to some boiling water. Once these float after about 2 or 3 minutes, remove them. Set them aside, and we're going to just heat up a pan of some butter and olive oil and literally just saute them for about 2 or 3 minutes. In that pan, they'll get nice and crispy. And then strain and remove, and we're ready to go. Ready to plate. This is looking really good with this chicken. Now we're going to just chop up that basil real quick for the toppings. We're going to plate the potato gnocchi we just made. Add the chicken breasts, add the sauce on top of that, and this is all going to come together. Great, great meal. We're going to top with that crispy pancetta and finish it off with a nice fresh basil. And there you have it, some Marry Me chicken. Enjoy.